this Tennessee basketball team is got a chance to be pretty darn good. What did you think of their win last night and your thoughts? I know Syracuse isn't great by any stretch of the imagination. They're not the Cuse you're used to, but Tennessee's basketball team looks pretty darn good.
I think there were a lot of great signs for Tennessee basketball and a lot of questions that I have for them that were unanswered. The good signs is their defense is still what you want. They were plus 28 with Josiah-Jordan James on the court, Dave. He is everything for this team. He's kind of not like Dalton Knecht is the scorer, but Josiah-Jordan James is the glue guy. You know what I mean? Like that type of player that, like, I would almost say like Celtics in the 80s. Wasn't Cedric Maxwell kind of that for the Celtics? I mean, Larry Bird and McHale and Parrish were the stars, but like seemed like Cedric Maxwell and Danny Ainge were kind of like the do everything.
You're slightly before my time. I know you think that I'm 80 years old, but I do know who Cedric Maxwell was, but I don't know the role he played on that Celtics team. So that's a little bit before my time. I think this is an exciting basketball team with Knecht, and Tennessee has been able to play at a high level without, for the most part, Santiago Vescovi, who had 6 points against Syracuse, but he's been gone dealing with a personal issue across the ocean.
And Knecht left the game with 8 minutes left yesterday because of cramps. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is not a team that's anywhere close to full strength. It may be 75% full strength. I know Zakai Ziegler also missed some time as well. I mean, this is a Tennessee basketball team, and it's all about timing. Okay, sometimes you hit the tournament and you're playing your best ball. That's why they look at the last 10 games before the tournament. Sometimes you go into the tournament and some guy gets hot. Other times, Method Man gets hurt at Cincinnati. So you have to hope for some timeliness. But the great part about this basketball team is I think they could make a deep run into the tournament. You correct me if I'm wrong. Again, we know what Tennessee has with Rick Barnes. Okay, so I understand you thinking that's not going to be the case, and I completely understand. But I don't think there's one player on this team. I don't wish anybody to get hurt, but there's one player in this team that could get hurt in February that you would say, well, that destroys their Final Four chances. Do you?
I mean, I think Santi not being fully healthy right now there are issues that are showing with that. This doesn't. I can't say this is a Final Four team yet. And Josiah, like I told you, because of the defense that he brings, him getting hurt could be critical. There's 2 questions from Tennessee, though, that weren't answered yesterday. One, how often have I been on this, Dave? They were 5 of 14 from 3. When you make deep runs in March, I think in a season, you need to average 7 to 8 made 3-pointers a game and take about 17 to 20 3-point shots in a game. Average that, right? You can't go on 5. And and the other part is Jonas Aidoo, to his credit, had a double-double yesterday. 15 points or 12, 13, something like that, points to 12 rebounds. Syracuse went to a zone with 8 minutes left. They brought back the Jim Boeheim zone when Dalton Knecht went out. It was a perfect time to do it, and Jonas Aidoo just torched that zone. That's a good sign. Here's the problem. Can Jonas Aidoo score like that when teams are actually playing man under the basket? Because the issue with Tennessee right now, and Dave, one of the reasons they don't shoot the ball as well from 3, and you brought this up last year, they still haven't found the guy who you're worried when he gets the ball in position inside because he's just that good and that much of a threat. That is a crucial part of the inside-out game, and I don't know if Jonas Aidoo can be that guy. And you know this. You play a perimeter zone, it's easy to score under the basket in that moment. That's what you're supposed to do.
So the message board said that if Knecht goes down, it's probably Tennessee's player with the best upside. If he were to go down in February, that would be bad.
I mean, Knecht went down yesterday, and Tennessee turned a 3-point lead into a 17-point win because they have so much. Knecht is like the guy. You have a complete team, and then you have just on top of a complete team, a guy that just is your best player. That's just an epic scorer and everything. That's Knecht. You know what I mean? It's like he is your best player as a do-it-all, as your go-to scorer. But it's not like it's like you have a complete puzzle and then you add Knecht in. And so He's not the missing puzzle piece in terms of inside scoring or 3-point shooting, although he was 3 of 4 from 3 yesterday. And I think that's the question that Tennessee needs to answer at the moment. They'll find out tonight, by the way, with the inside presence. Jonas Adu has a major test. Tennessee has a top 10 matchup with Purdue. Many of you guys may be watching this after the game, but like it's the biggest college basketball matchup in November.
Rapid answer, Dave, John C. What's our basketball record this year, and how deep do we go into the dance? Quick before the ice melts. I don't know why the ice is melting or where you are, but I will say Tennessee wins 24 games and they make the Elite Eight. We haven't really done predictions to this point, so I guess that's apropos. What about you?
I'm going to go 26 games, but Sweet 16. Y'all aren't going to convince me that this team doesn't get, and it's still the same issue. You can't convince me that Rick Barnes doesn't wear this team down by February. I've seen it too much, that he grinds people too hard.
Well, the reason I'm going to Elite Eight is because I think he's made some changes. You pointed them out. I think maybe he takes his foot off the gas a little bit earlier. Listen, when you're 70, is he 72? Is he when you're at that age and you have 60? You're right, it is 69. When you hit that point, and if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and think, I need to do something different because I've had a very successful coaching career and I've only made one Final Four, there's a problem, Caleb. But that's a problem. I mean, you have absolutely got to look at yourself in the mirror at 69 and say, I've been doing this for 40 years and I've only made the Final Four once. I got to make some changes.
Yeah, that, and also it seems, y'all think about this, Dave. Tennessee has never lost to a higher seed in the NCAA. They've never played a higher seed in the NCAA tournament under Rick Barnes. Every single loss they've had has been to a lower seed since they've gone to the NCAA tournament. That to me is the most telling stat, isn't it? That every single loss in the tournament has been to a lower seed to this point. And
no, absolutely. And somebody else wants to agree with you. We had a post from the Parker family. I don't know if this person represents the entire family, but this team is tight. If Barnes lets them play loose and doesn't grind them into powder by February, it could be a special team. Okay, let me ask you this. So Jerry Green, last time I talked to him, was shoveling gravel in his driveway. Okay. And that was many years ago. If Jerry Green could show up in his prime and coach this team as of late November, would Tennessee go deeper in the tournament than with Rick Barnes and his propensity to run teams into the ground?
They would go exactly the same.
They would too. Because Jerry Green wasn't much better in the tournament.
Jerry Green also, all 4 years, Tennessee lost to a lower seed in the tournament, all 4 years. So, I mean, we're talking like, yeah, they would go exactly the same, but for different reasons. For Barnes, he has a style. I've told you, if Barnes were, if the March Madness were structured like the NBA playoffs, I'd actually have Tennessee winning it, because in the NBA, defense can matter more because you can lose one game with the team getting red hot shooting the ball. You know what I mean?
Yes, this is awful, Elias. I'm disappointed in you. He says Rick Barnes would still be 69 if we won the NCAA tournament. If that happens, there damn well better be some nice T-shirts made. Nothing's finer than 69er.
And also
celebrate 69.
Celebrate 69.
Yeah,
and with Hooker, celebrate 69.
Yeah, I think there's some others as well. I've never felt better than 69.